live another day. Without armor?
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm well aware of the fact that I am very late to the party when it comes to new models for patch 8.2.5, but that won't stop me from providing my own feedback and speculations on those characters. In fact, I plan on doing a video on each of them, or at the very least Kalia and Wrathion, after of course I talk about Zekhan here. Friendly reminder that this is a pretty early stage for the PDR, so things will most likely change and be included later down the line in other videos. So, let's get in the nitty-gritty and get started on this discussion, with of course some history regarding the character first. Zekhan is the son of Makazi, a war veteran from the Third War, who's since deceased. He had great admiration for the Horde's veteran heroes like High Overlord Varrock Sarfang. During the Alliance's invasion of Lordaeron in the Blood War, he joined Varrock Sarfang while the old orc was lost in thought over what had occurred in Todosil, as well as how his late son, Granar Sarfang, had lost his life in the war against the Lich King. This being Zekhan's first battle, he had several questions to ask the war veteran. However, Sarfang was blunt and bitter towards Zekhan, telling him simply to not die. Sarfang attempted to rush his warrior's death the evening before the battle was to begin, but Zekhan stopped him from throwing his life away for the sake of the Horde. He also reminded Sarfang that, as they had both lost family, the Horde was all that either of them still had. This pushed Varrock Sarfang to continue fighting for the sake of the Horde, and the two would fight side by side at the Siege of Lordaeron. During the battle, Sarfang would lament his displeasures of Sylvanas' plans and turn to fight the Alliance his way. Varrock Sarfang would be arrested after failing to defeat the Alliance, who sought to put an end to Sylvanas and her schemes. Sarfang would be taken back to the Stormwind stockades just before the Blight explosion in the Undercity, while Zekhan would live another day and get away. Much later, Varrock would escape with the help of Anduin Wrynn. Sylvanas and her Dark Rangers, however, would not allow a threat like Sarfang to go unchecked. Zekhan meets with the Horde player, attempting to track down Sarfang, and tries to convince them to help Sarfang deal with the Dark Ranger forces that are trying to find him. Should you choose to side with the War Chief, you tell Sylvanas of Zekhan and his loyalties to Sarfang, and not her, leaving her with this information to use for later. But, should you decide to choose with Zekhan, you help him and Sarfang fight the Dark Ranger and her Forsaken Force. Varrock wounds you in order to help you pretend that you fought with him, helping you to fake your loyalty to Sylvanas. He plans to go find others who would agree with his cause and tells Zekhan to remain in Orgrimmar to do the same. And that brings us to where we are now, and all caught up with the lore that we know on Zekhan. So let's speculate on what could happen with him in the future. Currently, at this time, we're not given any more information on Zekhan's role in patch 8.2.5, but it is my assumption that the next rebellion is finally beginning to start, and Zekhan, of course, will take the side of the rebels. He's even been given a far better look than his Master Godrin cosplay he was wearing previously. Rest in peace, Jesse from the Lost Codex's Mog that he created for his con. You served your purpose well. We know already that Varrock Sarfang has accepted Anduin's aid, successfully grabbed Thrall and teamed up with Jaina Proudmoore and Matthias Shaw to save Bane. We also know that Rokan, the presumed leader of the Darkspear, had a hand in saving Bane's life with his stealth totem. Wrathion has also agreed to stand with Thrall and Saurfang against Sylvanas, as well as many other leaders and champions of the Horde. We can also presume Zekhan has been hard at work at finding those with honor in their hearts within Orgrimmar, while the rebels prepare for any attacks on Thunderbluff or the eventual assault on the capital of the Horde once again. But that's where the danger comes in, as even if canonically, if you didn't report his traitorism to Sylvanas, she would probably find out about his little inquiries on the honor within Orgrimmar, as that is currently where she and her many eyes reside. I do think that Zekhan's life will be in danger, and so far everything has gone rather smoothly for most of the honorable Horde. I do think that Sylvanas will try to hit Saurfang and those with mortality where it hurts most, and try to kill the innocent Zekhan. This could be where Saurfang jumps in the way, very similar to how the late son, Liam, had done for his father Gen, and saved Zekhan's life. Alternatively, they could pull a Draenor Saurfang with Zekhan, and raise him as an undead troll for Saurfang to once again fight someone he cares for, and further show that Sylvanas is just another Lich King, pushed further and further away from any redemption in her story. I think the best bet would be to have Saurfang give his life to not only save Zekhan's, but also ensure the Horde has a proper future, and with younglings like Zekhan, young characters who have aspirations of honor over loyalty to the war chief. We need to have more Darkspear characters, and with how new and recent Zekhan is, I think it'd be a poor idea to kill him off this soon. Saurfang and Zekhan's stories have been connected since the start of Battle for Azeroth, and it would make sense to close the chapter with the old soldier to save the young soldier. I've been saying this for a while now, that Saurfang should have his warrior's death, and have his proper rest, and let the younger-ish generation fix and carry the Horde onward. This would put the Horde in a much brighter spot for the future of the faction, with having young characters like Zekhan, Bane, and so forth to stir it on the right path. It would also push the likes of Thrall back into leadership, at least as a racial leader of the Orcs, with that seat vacant with Barak's death. Once Saurfang is dead, retired, or still active even, I could see Zekhan rising in the ranks of the Horde, and eventually taking that same title of High Overlord just like his mentor/stepdad Saurfang had. I think the role of the Darkspear Chieftain shouldn't be taken by the likes of him when we have other characters like Rokan, Master Godrin, Vanera, and Wemba who can still take up that role. We also have the elusive missing two sons of Wul'jin who are still unknown. Zekhan is just too young and too new for the role of war chief or chieftain, but I can definitely see him become a champion or high-ranking officer like General Nazgrim did over time. But those are just my thoughts on Zekhan. I know it's a very brief video on a very brief character, but I just wanted to state my thoughts on where I think they might be going with the character. Honestly, I quite like Zekhan, but I think some people are just too quick with where they want him. I prefer a slow rise to power with him, and I gotta say, I love his look, and I hope it becomes or resembles the Darkspear Troll's heritage armor. Should anything else come up in the PDR on Zekhan, I of course will more than likely cover it. Let me know in the comments below on what you think Zekhan's role after Battle for Azeroth. Do you think he'll die, live, or do you think he'll take up Saurfang's title someday? I would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and give this a like, give it a share, and well, if you didn't like it, I suppose give it a dislike, I guess. Ring that blasted bell if you want to get notified about this channel. Come and join us on the Discord, we would love to have you for more discussions. Maybe follow me on Twitter to hear me more often. Join me on Twitch to see me play the video games, though I am on break for now. Or maybe support me on Patreon. A little help goes a long way, and I would greatly appreciate it. All of those are in the description down below, as well as some other things. Well, until next time, my friends, see ya!